Welcome to the playoffs.
The Aliens, what a play by Bullet. Trilogy gets it done. Briscoe knocks down the three.
Power.
Oh, talk about bringing the fire. The three-headed monsters, Kevin Murphy.
Everybody wants to get to this moment. They want that trophy.
Oh, welcome to the playoffs. We're in Tampa, and you're watching Through the Fire, road to the Big 3 playoffs. Let's take a look at the final four teams, all vying for the chip. Aliens taking on the defending champions, Trilogy. That game will come to you first, followed by Power taking on the three-headed monsters. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Custer alongside my guy, Jim Jackson, Brian Scalabrine. He's going to join us in just a moment. So, Jim, here we go. 8 weeks of regular season in the books, now in the playoffs. When you look back on the regular season, your thoughts?
Competition, competitive, from the top to the bottom. You never know week in and week out who was going to win it. When it came down to playoff position, it was 6 or 7 teams that could have been here. So Cube, Jeff Quanitz, excellent job of opening up the Raptors, so to speak, to make this a much more competitive league.
And what about the Final Four squads?
Well, listen, these teams deserve it. 2 of the hottest teams, Trilogy and Power, have won it before. Aliens trying to figure it out, and three-headed monsters have been there, done that, but haven't been able to cross the line. Maybe this is their opportunity.
Well, let's take a look at some of the coaches here. You start off with Reggie Theus. His first season taking over the three-headed monsters. He's guided them to the playoffs. You've got Steven Jackson. Listen, his first season with Trilogy as a coach last season, they win the championship, and they're trying to go back-to-back. Nancy Lieberman, she won it all in 2018. She was even coach of the year as well. She's led Power back to the postseason. And Rick Mahorn, his first season coaching the Alien squad, he has guided them to the playoffs. And let me tell you something, Rick Mahorn, say what you want about him, still intense.
But he's different, though. I love Rick because what happened with Rick was at Trilogy, it was more power basketball. This one is more with the Aliens, spread it out, going to beat you from behind the three-point line. But if you test him, Rick can get up and still has a little bit of that bad boy blood up in him, and he's not going to let anybody disrespect him or his team.
And that was just last week when his squad took on Power. You said he had the back and forth with Catino Mobley and Glenn Rice Jr. It's funny. Listen, he's my Hampton brother. I even had to text him. I said, man, you too old to be trying to fight on national television. By the way, he's with our Brian Scalabrine.
All right, so everyone wants to know about last week. Like, where was the line crossed that made you have to go over to the huddle?
It's called respect. You have to respect this game. You have to respect the people that's been in this game. And you know what? Pass it forward. That's all I ask. Pass it forward.
Now, you've been here before in the playoffs. How are the playoffs different than a regular season?
Well, the thing is with the playoffs is one and you're done. And the fact that we made it into the Final Four, I'm excited about my team's chances. And we played my old team, Trilogy, that I won a championship with.
What's the key to stopping that team?
The key is not turn the ball over, but also try to stop Isaiah Briscoe. And the way that they've been playing these last couple of weeks, they've been playing really good basketball.
All right, thanks, Rick. Good luck today.
Well, there has been no shortage of great performances so far this regular season. We narrowed them down to some of our favorites. So here they are, the top 5 plays from the Big 3 regular season.
Oh, watch your head.
Attacks the rim, one-handed jam.
I told you, watch your head. Oh, my God.
A thunderous finish for Stewart.
Looking for the win here. Gets downhill, goes up. Oh, yeah! Ballhawks win!
The Brazilian blur helps the Ballhawks with the first win on the Big 3 season.
But they still do have point game. Stewart trying to end it here. He gets to 50, but they must win by 2.
Give him MVP, man. Give him MVP now.
Watch the block. Gets there before Brewer. Wow. That was outstanding. Wow, what force here. They can win with a 4-point shot. Murphy, this for the win. Oh my God! Kevin Murphy with the big 4-point shots in Dallas, and the three-headed monsters win it. From the Big Three's leading scorer, Kevin Murphy delivers.
Listen, he's leading the Big Three in scoring 25 a game. I call him Kevin Murphy.
I'll call them buckets. Buckets, baby.
Hey, still to come, the Big Three founder, the face of the league, Ice Cube. He joins us. We're going to break down these playoff matchups as Through the Fire rolls to the Big Three playoffs continues.
Hey. I want to welcome everybody to the launch of the Big Three, professional 3-on-3 basketball. I'm just excited to see the guys that I know who can still strap it up, play at a competitive high level, and I'm just happy that, you know, I have the right people and partners to be able to provide the stage.
That was 6 years ago. 5 seasons ago. That was a young-looking Ice Cube there.
Yeah, you know, I had a little less gray hairs then,
So we're 5 seasons in, here to the playoffs. Talk to me about the league and what you thought and what you liked about this season.
Oh, man, the competition was great. You know, I think we had the best athletes of all 5 years this year competing. Teams were extremely close. The parity was exactly where we wanted it to be. And now we got our, what I call the Flaming Four.
Yeah.
You know, our Final Four ready to do it.
Well, let's talk about the first game because you've got Trilogy here taking on the Aliens as we take a look at their rosters. And I love, and Jim made a great point on what Rick Mahorn did. He went with more an international flair with the Aliens there, ball movement, passing, cutting, and done a good job of getting them to the postseason. Trilogy trying to go back-to-back.
Without a doubt, you know, you got Aliens. A lot of them guys came from FIBA. A lot of those guys got the European 3-on-3 style against our champions, you know, trying to go back-to-back with Trilogy. It's going to be a great matchup, different styles. Aliens actually beat Trilogy earlier this year, so we're going to see if there's revenge on the table or is this a trend?
Well, you mentioned so Briscoe too, but piggyback off of this because he's such a powerful guard, and you love guards that get downhill and score. What makes him special?
Well, you know, he's fearless, and he's taken on the role that Jared Jacks left vacant, and they needed him to score, and that's what he came in to do. And he's showing that he's one of the best young players in the league.
Yeah, I think third leading scorer in the league.
Let me ask you this, too. On Aliens, too, because of the success that they've had, you opened it up with the V, but do you see more of that influence maybe coming as the years go on?
We'll see. You know, it's really about, you know, this team has went to the playoffs. How deep can they go? Can they win a championship with this style? I'm pretty sure more European players are looking at the Big Three. They're definitely welcome. If you can play at this level, come on.
You know, that's a great point that Deshaun Bullock said. He said it was great playing with one of my fellow countrymen, but he said, I got guys here from FIBA, and that's what we do. Our style of play, passing, cutting. He said it's been great for us.
Yeah, you know, moving the ball, you know, 3-on-3, a lot of people think it's a one-on-one thing, but no, if you know what you're doing, pick and rolls, your cuts, you can definitely make the game fun, interesting, and a lot of ball movement.
And Deshaun Stevens has certainly added the muscle to that squad here, leading rebounder in the Big Three here as you talk about that international influence here. So real quick, as we wrap it up, Trilogy and Aliens, what are you thinking in that game?
Oh, it's going to be a dog fight. You know, they all my babies, so I can't pick one, but it's going to be a dog fight. See if Trilogy, they're on their way to back-to-back champions or not. You know, is Aliens going to knock them off and become a new thing in the Big Three? We'll see.
And then the second game, we got the three-headed monsters taking on power. This is the matchup we saw in the championship game of, 2018 here as we take a look at the rosters with Nancy Lieberman. Hey, Katina Mobley is still there, but now Nancy Lieberman, of course, has her son, TJ, playing with her. And the three-headed monsters, Reggie Theus, his first season
gets these guys to the post. And every year, the three-headed monsters are in the post.
Right.
They're like,
They're always there.
the bridesmaid, never the bride. And maybe is this the year?
We'll see if this is the year. Yeah, Reggie Theus have him playing great. You know, him being the new coach, some guys can come in a little timid, but he came in, took control of that group, and got them playing great ball at this time.
And Kevin Murphy, I mean, are we talking about MVP?
Well, listen, it's his to lose. Okay, Kevin Murphy's the one who's going to beat. But I think Quincy Miller may also be the key for this team. Because quietly, he fills in the gap. He can shoot it from deep. He can get inside. He's long. He's athletic. I think that's what makes this team so balanced.
And don't forget about Rashard Lewis. You know,
oh, come on.
He's a vet in this league, and he knows when it's time to come to play. And he's definitely going to come to play today.
Well, you can see what Kevin Murphy has done this season. I mean, nearly 26 points a game. He was just 1 point off.
I know.
From
He got to go get that.
Johnson's
He got to go
scoring
get that. Somebody got to. I think he knew in his mind, but you know, he didn't at the end. I think he took it for granted that it was going to happen, and he came up short.
Okay, so now let's talk about power, because in years past, let's say it was Cuttino Mobley leading this squad, but you know what? He is healthy, but it was Glenn Rice Jr.
Yes.
who's been the guy for power.
Without a doubt. You know, each team has a young star emerging, and Power's no different. Glenn Rice Jr. came in, lit it up. He took a lot of pressure off Cuttino Mobley, and you got T.J. Klein coming in off the bench, was fighting for the 4th man of the year, and he comes in and he does damage. And you know Royce White is just a beast in the middle, his passing, and Nancy got him playing at the perfect level right now.
Cube, I'll go back to this because of the changes and adjustments you made to make it younger. You talked about the younger guys, but because you got a Cuttino Mobley, a Rashard Lewis, you have a Mahmoud, David Hawkins, they're the old veterans. They've been there. But it's the young guys because they have the older guys that kind of taught them how to play 3-on-3 at this level, and now they're the stars. And that goes a lot of credit to yourself from changing from the beginning and opening it up, and now it's much more competitive.
Yeah, we want the best players in the world, you know, when it's all said and done. We don't care what age you are. You know, if you know how to play this game, you can play at a high level. We want you. And for some of our veterans, some of our older guys, to be teaching the younger guys how to win, you know, that's what it's really all about. It's about winning. These guys can play, but can they win the chip?
Hey, listen, don't go anywhere because we got more coming up with Ice Cube. In fact, when we come back, we got to talk more about this NFT thing you got going on. Through the Fire, Road to the Big 3 playoffs continues.
The Big 3 on CBS Sports is sponsored by American Home Shield. Keeps your home up and running and your budget on track. Learn more at ahs.com.
Well, make sure you get your official Big 3 merch at store.big3.com. You get league, team apparel, jerseys, hats, jackets, everything at big3.com, the store. Welcome back to the show. And you know, NFTs, crypto, it's all the rage. And one thing that Ice Cube has done, he's found ways to make fans interact with these teams and get involved with Big 3 NFT affiliations. Look at the number of teams and the affiliations they have. How did you come up with the idea?
Oh, man, me and my partner, Jeff Quanez, co-founder, just looked at the NFT technology, that blockchain technology, and we know we're going from a Web 2 world to a Web 3 world, and we wanted to be the first. So we wanted to get some of these communities involved with our teams. Some of them are owners of our teams, and hey, it's been a great marriage.
How has that affiliation with NFT, I know it's still fairly new, helped kind of expand the awareness of Big 3 basketball?
Bringing communities closer. You know, these communities are very enthusiastic. You know, they're very active. And to have those communities connected to our teams, you know, pumping up the playoffs, pumping up the league, it's just a perfect arrangement. So we just happy to be a part of it. like I said, we happy to be first, and we're happy to welcome these NFT owners.
And you know, it's a great way to interact with your fans because it's a great fan experience. Because even if you're a fan, you can find yourself having a little piece of ownership into the team. This is great.
Why not? You know, why just watch the game when you can actually be part of the game? You know, you definitely more access, more, you know, from merch to, you know, practices to tickets to everything that an owner get. You know, you're probably going to have better seats than me. So, you know, get involved.
That's fantastic. Hey, take a look. People are tweeting about this. I mean, some of these guys, it's like every week you got guys sending out tweets about how much fun they're having when they come out to these type of things. And listen, you had a nice little reception for them last night as well.
Without a doubt, you know, we're treating our owners great. They're having a ball, you know, getting this close to sports. You know, a lot of people, it's a dream come true, and we're just happy to be in a position to make those dreams come true.
Innovative, creative, expanding, not being satisfied. It's kind of like the music industry, right? At one time, you start at one place, you think it's one thing, but then as you evolve to something different. You brought this to the table here with Big 3.
Always got to flip the script. You know, you can't stand still. You know, you got to be innovative. You got to move the needle. And, you know, our motto is changing the game, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you see as the future with that?
More and more, you know, people getting involved, and, you know, they're going to, you know, trade them. They're going to keep them. They're going to pass them down. They're going to be, you know, heirlooms. It's just going to be a great part of this league to see them grow with the league.
I love that you got guys like Snoop Dogg, obviously a part of that, and even Trilogy. They just got a new ownership, right? And Axiom, right?
Yes, you know, one of the biggest NFT communities out there, one of the biggest digital, you know, crypto communities out there. So, hey, you know, we want them to come in and join and be a part of this league and help enhance what we already got.
That's fantastic. Yay. That's what we do here. Listen, it is the road to the playoffs through the fire, the Big 3. Hey, man, appreciate you.
Thanks, Q.
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks for being a part of this.
Always, bro.
Always. Hey, when we come back, he's got to give out some rings, and we got the playoffs.
We're in Tampa. It's the Big 3 playoffs.
The Big 3 on CBS Sports is sponsored by Fubo TV. Watch live TV and sports. FuboTV.com.
Well, I'll tell you what, the city of Tampa was certainly Gronk last year in 2021, and Gronk was the life of the party as the Bucs celebrated that Super Bowl title. And speaking of Gronk, that legendary tight end, it's been just announced, he's going to participate, Jim Jackson, in the first ever Monster Energy Big 3 celebrity game. And you can take a look at the people who've already confirmed. Vernon Davis, of course, played with the Niners. Renee Montgomery, long NBA champion, WNBA champion. My man, Wale Gilly is going to be there as well. Wallow and NLE Chopper, all of those guys. And listen, all of that is jumping off next Sunday. We've got the pregame, we've got the All-Star game, and then the championship game here on CBS. And then you can see that celebrity game September 4th.
But it's a culmination of a lot of things to celebrate, not just the championship, the celebrity game, the All-Star game. Again, the league continues to grow and evolve, and that's the beautiful thing about Ice Cube, kind of like his music career. He transitioned from NWA to Lynch Mob, back to Ice Cube to West Side Connect, but he understood the trends, and that's something he's doing here with the Big 3.
Yeah, and as you can see right now, how about this? Trilogy getting their championship rings. They're the only team in this league that has won it twice. Won it last year. The first year they went unbeaten. Steven Jackson getting his ring, his first year as the head coach, and now trying to go back-to-back.
You know, but it's interesting, too. Again, different philosophies at the time. Again, the power part of Trilogy when they won it under Rick Mahorn. Jack Cuzzo, I call him last name, namesake, took over. A little bit different. Briscoe, a power player, but yet still they have size and skill set to be able to win. So it's going to be interesting. I love every bit of it, bro.
Now, don't forget, next week, folks, we're going to reveal all of the season awards. So everything from the MVP, hardest to guard, toughest defender, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Fourth Man of the Year, and of course, a Big 3 staple, the best trash talker.
Yo.
All of those will be revealed next week.
No, but again, all deserving. I'm interested to see. Best trash talker always would go to like Gary Payton, and he wasn't a player, he was a coach, but this year is going to be something different. Let's see.
Well, you want to talk about the best trash talker? How about Isaiah Briscoe from Trilogy? And in fact, take a look. He unveiled that trash talk just last week. Listen to this.
Now, I'm going to tell you what got me started. I was at the crib. My girl told me I need to be worried about Frank Nitti. Earlier today, I got an interview and they were saying, well, you know, what about you and Frank Nitti? Frank Nitti, my man, is nothing against him, but it's not a comparison. It's no comparison. I'm going to just leave it off at that.
The best thing of that was the walk-off.
Oh, no doubt. Drop the mic. Drop the mic moment, right? Especially when your girl get on you about playing basketball, you got to do something about it, bro.
And so now Isaiah Briscoe, as you take a look at him, looking to power this Trilogy squad. I even tried to joke with him. I said, did your girl talk to you and say, listen, you know you got disarm bullet? He said, nah. She knows I'm already locked in. I'm already locked in. Talk to me about what did this matchup and what you're expecting.
Well, but the first game, listen, Aliens was able to dominate early, but then they gave up some opportunities in regards to free throw shooting, foul, and got Trilogy back in the game. Trilogy says, listen, talk to Steven Jackson, we left 16 points off the board by not making our free throw. We should have won that basketball game. So that's why it's going to be a different mentality, I think, from both teams. Again, you love to see matchups come back around. What adjustments coaches make. Rick Mahorn talked about one. Look, we need to win the 50-50 ball matchup, and we need to take care of the rock.
You know, the interesting thing about Trilogy, they started the season rocky. I mean, it was like 2-2. And then, boom, as you talked about, 4 straight wins. Unstoppable.
Well, sometimes it's difficult, too, when you have a new change of philosophy, some new players, trying to get the continuity because you're not practicing. But once you kind of get into the rhythm, and that's why you draft well, because guys can make adjustments. I think Steven Jackson did an excellent job with the X's and O's, kind of maneuvering guys to feel more comfortable. Hence, you win 4 in a row.
And then you got the Aliens, and you talked about that European flair and those guys, ball movement and cutting.
Well, it makes it tough to guard because, like Cube said during our time here, 3-on-3 is not just about one-on-one. If you can move the basketball, you're in and out. This will be tough to guard.
Well, the playoffs, more to come. It's the Alien Trilogy Big 3 playoffs. It starts next.